Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. We would like to present about promoting company. Our company is 3M company. We're gonna to explain about personal protective equipment or PPE for use COVID-19 pandemic at hospital. Please don't forget like, comment and subscribe. Let's get started. Good morning. Thank you for your opportunity for our company and thank you for your time. Let me introduce myself. My name is Angi and my partner is Devi. We are from Three Company. We would like to explain our product is personal protective equipment for healthcare work in hospital to handle COVID-19 patient. Coronavirus disease or COVID-19 is an infectious disease caused by a newly discovered coronavirus. Most people infected with the COVID-19 virus will experience mild to moderate respiratory illness and recovery without requiring special treatment. Older people and those with underlying medical problems like cardiovascular disease, diabetes, chronic respiratory disease, and cancer are more likely to develop serious illness. The best way to prevent and slow down transmission is be well informed about the COVID-19 virus, the disease is caused and how it spreads. Protect yourself and others from infection by washing your hand or using an alcohol-based rub frequently and not touching your face. Okay, not don't touch your face. The COVID-19 virus spread primarily through droplets of saliva or discharge from the nose when an infected person or sneezes. At the time, there are no specific vaccines or treatments for COVID-19. However, there are many ongoing clinical trials evaluating potential treatments. WHO will continue to provide update information as soon as clinical findings become available. History of 3M Company. 3M Company was founded in 1902 at the Lake Superior town of Two Harbors, Minnesota. Five businessmen set out to mine a mineral deposit for grinding wheel abrasive, but the deposit proved to be of little value, and the new Minnesota Mining and Manufacturing CO quickly moved to nearby Duluth to focus on sandpaper product. Years of struggle ensued until the company could master quality production and a supply chain. New investors were attracted to 3M, such as Lucius Arroy, who moved the company to Santa Paula in 1910. Early technical and marketing innovation began to produce success, and in 1916 the company paid its first dividend of 6 cents a share. The world's first waterproof sandpaper, which reduced airborne dust during automobile manufacturing, was developed in the early 19th and 20th. A second major milestone occurred in 1925 when Richard G. Drew, a young lab assistant, invented masking tape, an innovative step forward diversification and the first of many Scotch pressure sensitive tapes. In the following years, technical progress resulted in Scotch Caliban, tape for box selling, and soon hundreds of participle use were discovered. In early 1940, 3M was diverted into defense material for World War II, which was followed by new ventures such as Scotch Light, reflective seating for highway markings, magnetic sound recording tape, filament adhesive tape, and the start of 3M involvement. 3M involvement in the graphic arts field with offset printing plates. And in the 1950s, 3M introduced the Thermofax copying process, Scotch Guard, fabric protector, videotape Scotch Brite, cleaning pads, and several new electromechanical product. Dry silver microfilm was introduced in the 1960s, along with photographic product, carbonless papers, overhead projection system, and a rapidly growing healthcare business of medical and dental products. Market further expanded in the 1970s and 1980s into pharmaceutical, radiology, and energy control. In 1980, 3M introduced Post-it notes, which created a whole new category in the marketplace and changed people's communication and organization behavior forever. In 1990, sales reached the 15 billion mark. 3M continued to develop an array of innovative products, including immune response modifier pharmaceuticals, brightness enhancement films for electronic displays, and flexible circuits used in inkjet prints, cell phone, and other electronic devices. What is PPE? Personal protective equipment, or PPE, are protective gear designed to safeguard the health of workers by minimizing the exposure to a biological agent. Component of PPE needed: Google safety, face shield, mask, gloves, coverall, head cover, and chest cover. The picture is example of component of PPE. As per condition, we would like to introduce our product for healthcare work safety. Safety is number one for minimize the risk of exposure. This is very important and we must aware from this condition. PPE should be used based on the risk of exposure and the transmission dynamic of the pathogen. The observing of the following recommendation will ensure rational use PPE. Number one, the type of PPE used when caring for a COVID-19 patient will vary according to the setting and type. 2. Of personnel and activity. 3. Healthcare workers involved in the uh, direct care of patients should use the following PPE: gowns, gloves, medical mask, and eye protection. 4. Specifically for aerosol generating producer. Number 5. Among the general public, persons with respiratory systems or those caring for COVID-19 patients at home should receive medical masks. Surgical N95 healthcare respirators are designed to help provide respiratory protection for the wearer against certain airborne particles. They meet CDC guidelines for Mycobacterium tuberculosis exposure control as dissolvable particulate respirators. They are intended to reduce wear exposure to certain airborne particles, including those generated by electrocautery, laser surgery, and other powered medical instruments. As surgical masks, they are designed to be resistant to splash and spatter of blood and other infectious materials. Features: NEOSH approved N95 rating, FDA cleared for use as a surgical mask, fluid resistant 80 mmHg, flammability rating class I, flammability rating class 1, adjustable nose clip, braided and stapled headbands, particulate respirator and surgical mask. Approvals and standards. NIOSH approved N95 respirators. Particulate respirators are designed to help reduce the wearer's exposure to airborne particulate hazard. In the US, respirators are tested and certified by the US National Institute of Occupational Safety and Health, NIOSH, and certifies respirators based on their physical and performance characters, including filtration efficiency. For example, N95 red filtering face piece respirators have filtration of at least 95% against non-oily particles when tested using the NIOSH criteria. The particles used to test the filtration are in a size range that is considered the most penetrating. This method ensures that the filter media can filter particles with at least 95% FDA-cleared surgical mask. Surgical masks, in contrast, are designed to be worn by healthcare professionals during surgery and other medical tasks to help prevent contamination of the surgical field and or the patient by capturing liquid. That are explained by the wearer. Surgical masks are cleared for use as medical device by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration (FDA) or equivalent agencies outside the U.S. That clearance is based on data. Okay, based on data and purpose claims provided by the manufacturers to the FDA for review, in which the FDA evaluates and then clears for those products that meet their requirements. Because surgical masks are meant for use during surgery. For use during surgeries, a key performance requirement is fluid resistance, the ability of masks to resist penetration by high pressure stream of liquid, such as those that might result from a human actually being punctured during surgery. Sur- surgical 9 Surgical N95 respirators are both approved by NIOSH and surgical N95 respirators are both approved by NIOSH as an N95 respirators and also cleared by the FDA as a surgical mask. These products are frequently referred to as a medical respirator, healthcare respirator, or surgical N95s. Thank you. Damn, I'm bored in the house. Okay, I'm bored in the house. I'm bored in the house.
Mr. Alki have explained about history of 3M company, condition of COVID-19 now, and our product is surgical and 95 mask. This is the mask. Okay. How to use it? This mask is very comfortable. How do N95 mask work? The filtration media contained in the N95 is designed to capture at least 95% of particles, measuring a median of 0.3 mm. Even though viral particles are a few orders of magnitude smaller than this. Nanoparticles mainly travel by Brownian motion and are effectively captured within the N95 filter via mechanical and electrostatic force. The outer mask material is typically hydrophobic polypropylene. Importantly, extended use, reuse, or reprocessing of masks are affecting the filtration capacity of the mask. Extended use. The CDC report that prolonged N95 mask use, including between patients, can be safe for up to 8 hours, and encourage its user to review its manufacturer recommendation prior to following this strategy. Current guidelines encourage wearing a mask shield over the N95 to decrease the chance of soiling the mask. Reuse. Because coronavirus lost their viability significantly after 72 hours, many organizations have promoted a rotation and reuse strategy, assuming there is no soiling and minimal to no viral contamination to the mask. The CDC suggests the mask can be reused up to 5 times. How much the surgical mask? The mask price is 200,000 per box. One box is 20 pieces. Your price is too high. Can I get a cheaper price? To be honest, we also think the price is very high now. It is easy to buy face mask with 7,000 rupiah per pieces before the virus break out. But now, mass production has been affected in China by the COVID-19 virus. The whole world is short of masks, so even you buy 10,000 per pieces, you can hardly find any supplier in your local city. Guess most of them bought from China. Mass production capacity is limited. Buyers are far beyond supplier now. Besides, the raw material, packing box, shipping costs, and labor costs all have been increasing since weeks ago. It is a cheaper price. We mainly accept wholesale. We also accept specialty case to be part of the sample, stratified with the wholesale repurchase. What's your payment term? 100 payment before order preparing and you get discount 5% per box. But if your payment after delivery order, you don't get this discount. Can you shipping to my address? How much for shipping cost? Please send use your shipping address, then we will calculate the shipping cost for you. Do you have face mask in stock? We don't have much stock because we ship every day, but our production speed is also very fast. Can I place a mask order now? Yes, our production has not stopped ever since. How to buy this mask? Open our website below link address.